The Grinch is directed by Scott Mosier and Yarrow Cheney, and it's the latest Illumination animated film, and it stars Benedict Cumberbatch as the title character. And the film follows the Grinch as... Wait, hold on. Am I really telling you the plot of the Grinch? We know this story, we have seen it before, and this film doesn't really try to reinvent it too much. It sticks true to what it is thematically and narratively speaking. The structure is pretty much there, like it was in all of the previous versions of the Grinch. To me, still the best version of this story is the 90s or 80s 20-minute short film that airs every Christmas season. That is a perfect version of the story of the Grinch. This film, you can find those stretches of that 20-minute short film in here, but the film does expand it to a 90-minute feature film. Let me tell you right now, this is much better than the Jim Carrey live-action film. That film is absolutely atrocious, to the point where the Who people are absolutely assholes, and you cannot help but be on the side of the Grinch. And here the Grinch is much more tamed, let's say. He is not per se evil, he is a curmudgeon, he is ill-disposed, he just doesn't like people, doesn't like Christmas, doesn't like hanging around. But for instance, one change that they make here, he is forced to go down to Whoville, for instance, to go shopping. I like that. He is forced to be around these people, to be confronted by them, and to talk to them, to interact, and that goes against his beliefs and to what he wants to do. And I like that something is forced upon a character like that. A conflict is generated right there and then. And Benedict Cumberbatch does a great job as the Grinch. I could not help but hear all his nuances and feel like he was acting out whatever the character was doing on screen. Despite the great animation that has nothing to do with him, I couldn't help but feel curious about a live action of the Grinch played by the Benedict Cumberbatch. And speaking of the animation, let's face it, despite some very weak films that Illumination has put out, the animation always looks gorgeous, and this film is no exception to that rule. The animation is fluid, it's vibrant, it's fast-moving, it's beautiful, gorgeous to look at. It feels like these colors and the snow and whatever other texture is on screen is oozing out of it, and you're there with these characters despite them being completely different than you. And I really like the version of Cindy Lou in this film. She is so sweet, so endearing. She is not overbearing at all or a chore to put up with while she's on screen, which happens a lot with these Dr. Seuss adaptations in the last few years, especially with the Lorax. Every character in that is hateful. But in here, yes, maybe sometimes they can be a little too sweet. There's really no bad person in Whoville, but the characters, the ones that matter for this story, they are good at what they're written out to do, and Cindy Lou is the best example of them all. And as I mentioned, this film sticks true to the thematic nature of the Grinch. You get the message, and it's a powerful message, and it's an important message, especially right now, nowadays. It's maybe more important than ever. I'm not saying the Grinch is great or that it is the best animated film of the year. It is none of those things. It is effective, it is endearing, it is sweet, and it's really funny. This film doesn't depend on pop culture references, despite the fact that Pharrell is the narrator, but it doesn't even feel like Pharrell. I would have liked to maybe see a little bit more of a relationship between Cindy Lou and the Grinch, because you don't really get that impact when Grinch does what he does, and you know the story of the Grinch, not really giving spoilers here, but there's no relationship between them. There's no effect that the Grinch himself has on Cindy Lou, but what he does has an effect on everyone, and you just see the old thing of everyone recuperating and the Grinch learning his lessons, his heart growing 3 sizes and whatnot. There's nothing new in Illumination's The Grinch, but to me it felt like they didn't fix what wasn't broken in the first place. The Grinch has always been, to me, the best Dr. Seuss story, and this film truly understands that. I'm going to give The Grinch a B. Now, what did you think of The Grinch, my beautiful geekies? Did you enjoy it? Did you not? Let me know your ranking of the Dr. Seuss animated adaptations in the comments below, and let me know what is one that you would really like to see. Thank you so much for watching. You guys are the best. Don't forget to stay tuned for my upcoming Harry Potter reviews leading up to next week's Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald. Already uploaded mine for the Goblet of Fire with Cody Curtis. Hope you check that out, and there are many more reviews coming, so I hope to see you there. So until then, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe button and click the bell so we can be geeky united!